Episode 3, Value Protection. This is obviously really important to you. There's no point working hard and building up value in your business if you're not going to then make sure that you protect it. So there are various assets that you will have in your business. You might have physical assets. You might have stock, supplies, equipment, machinery. It's important obviously to take practical measures to protect the assets that you have. Physical security in your building, making sure that you comply with health and safety and various other risk assessments. Also important to have the right insurances in place. Dealing with brokers can help with this. And also something you might want to consider about from a legal point of view are something called retention of title clauses. So if you are letting your customers have stock before they've paid for it, it's really important to make sure that you have clauses in your agreements with them that make it clear that you still own those assets until the customer has completely paid for them. Then if something goes wrong with your customer, they go insolvent for example, you can go back into their premises and against the liquidator exercise your rights under retention of title and take back the stock that you haven't been paid for. As well as having physical assets in your business, you will probably also have non-physical assets. You'll have your company name. What's really important to know is that just because you have a company with a particular name does not mean that you have rights to that name. A company name alone does not give you any rights. If you want to protect that name and a logo, then you need to register that at the Intellectual Property Office. Again, this is very easy to do yourself. There's lots of guidance on the IPO website, and the process is just a form and a payment of a fee. There are experts out there, including me, who can help you with it. But again, try and do it yourself to begin with, because it is actually rather easy. It may not be possible to protect your name if your name isn't sufficiently unique or different. And then it can be better perhaps to stylise your name and associate it with the logo, which makes it much more likely that the Intellectual Property Office will allow you to register it. Other things may have something called copyright in them, so concepts and ideas, even software, other technology. If you've invented something, you do have certain automatic rights to it. Having said that, it can be difficult to enforce those rights, so it's often better to think about whether you can also register for something called a design or a patent protection. These are a little bit more difficult to do, and it's often better to do that through a patent attorney. Again, I have lots of people I work with who help with that, so just ask if you need some assistance. Once you have gone to the trouble of protecting all of your assets, you need to think about what happens if you give some of those assets to third parties. So for example, if you're working with website designers or other third parties, do make it clear between you that the intellectual property that you have got yourself stays with you. And if anything new is created, you need to agree who is going to own that. Is it you or is it the designer? You might have to pay a little bit more to get the intellectual property in your name, but what's the point of doing the work if you don't own it? So something to think about. Once again, once you have got all that protected, then you need to think about sharing it with other people. If you are thinking of sharing information such as customer databases or other information about your business, it's really important to think about entering something called a non-disclosure agreement. Again, you can find these agreements easily online, and again, you can get help with that if you need it. So there we go. That's the value you've got. Make sure you protect it.